take you on a shopping spree. You can try them all. One shoe, two shoe, you can buy them all. Go ahead, buy them all. Party like it's sweet cash. Me and Kenny D flexing on them like Kim Flash. You need a girl with the red bottom hole. Pretty lipstick, guess she's singing my song. You need a girl with the red bottom hole. I love the way she walk and the way she talk. Plus, 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 just sitting on 20s. Now watch her, now watch her, now watch her, now watch her shake, 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 shake it. You need a girl with the red bottom hole. When she's bad and I know she knows it, and I don't need to tell her 'cause I know she knows it. Oh man.
Yo, 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 yo. This your boy, Kenny D, singer-songwriter, your host. Hey, we are back, and today is Monday, and we are bringing you Pimp Game, the podcast. That's right, we got a special show for you guys on tap this evening. Oh my goodness. We are going to be talking about how can we make more good music. The music industry needs it. We need it. And then at the bottom of the hour, that's right, at the bottom of the hour, we have a special guest. She goes by the name of Jezabel da Truth. Jezabel da Truth. I love that name. She is responsible for developing a lot of indie artists and giving them a platform to talk, to do shows, all of that. She's going to be talking about that tonight on our show on Pimp Game. Alright? That's what we are doing. Now, let me tell you guys, if you guys want to send out a super chat, you can do so. $ Pimp Game Podcast. That's right. PIMPGAME Podcast. PODCAST. You can hit us in the Cash App if you love the information we are giving you guys, because we are coming with it every single Monday, 8 to 9 p.m. Alright? And for all my YouTube lovers out there, let me go ahead and tell you, you want to make sure you go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. That's right. You want to go to I Am Kenny D and subscribe. Alright? That's what you want to do. Make sure you turn the notifications button on. That way you get the notification when we upload new videos to our feed. Alright? Yo, now let's get to it. How can we produce more good music? The music industry is starving for great music, great artists, people who are new, people who, you know what I'm saying, maybe they're getting into the game, maybe they've been in the game for a while. We need to change people's perception now. That's what we need to do. That's what we need to do. How you doing, Jermaine Cole? How are you doing? What's up? So, we need to change people's perspective on the music industry, the music game. We need to really do our thing. We really need to do our thing, and it starts from the top. It really starts from the top, where we could have great music coming through our artists. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some people who are giving out great music. The J. Cole's, the Kendrick Lamar's, the Chris Brown, the Nicki Minaj, the Megan Thee Stallions, the Cardi B's. Oh, man, they giving you great music all day long. Drake and Jay-Z, every time he was to put out an album. Beyonce, obviously, those are icons in the game. But how can we get these other people to give us great music? Like NBA Youngboy. How can we get them to Quandro Rondo, the young cat? How can we get these cats to give us some great music? A little less on the violence and more on the music. Alright? Let's talk about it. Let me know. I will buzz you in. Alright? If you want to talk about it. How can we have good music? Because we really need it. And let me say this. It seems like now, what's perpetuated to the world, to the whole economy across the world, is often it's music that's not necessarily good. I mean, can you remember back in the 90s and you know what I mean, the early 2000s when music was good? I mean, you had to be dope to come into the industry. You had to be that chick. You had to be that dude. You couldn't even sound like another artist. If you sounded like Snoop Dogg, the record label didn't want you. They didn't want you. If you sounded like Method Man, they didn't want you. If you sounded like Biggie, or even if you sounded like Pop, it was going to be tough for you. It was tougher to get into the game now. And I think because of social media, it's totally changed everything. It's sad, but it's the truth. It is the truth. Yo, if you are just joining us, we are live on Pimp Game Podcast, and we are talking about how can we bring more good music to this world. We need it, man. We really need it. You rarely see good music now. You rarely see good music. And a lot of times you see cats copying other songs that have been, well, I mean, that's been around for, sampling other songs. That's been around for a while now. Diddy used to do it back in the days with Bad Boy. They used to sample other songs. But now they're sampling songs sometimes, and it ain't even better than the song that they're sampling. I seen a song by, man, I forgot her name. It's on the tip of my tongue. But she always talking about, yo, we gonna tax these niggas and all of that. I think it's Sushi something. Somebody help me out. Sukiana or something like that. She put out a song. I think it was the Yin Yang Tings that did the to the window, to the wall, to the sweat drop down my They did that. She redid the song. I saw the song, but the song wasn't good. I let her know in my comments it wasn't good. And I expect better from her. But I get it. She has a lot of followers. So people are still going to be tuned in. But you got to give us quality. You got to give us quality music. Help us out. Put it in the comments. What you think? How can we make more good music for the audience? That way music could be great again. Put it in the comments. You don't want to come on the show. That's fine. I ain't got to buzz you in. I know some people are scared. They don't want to be in front of the camera. I love it. I love it. I love it. Baby girl 10467 said, what up, Kenny D? What's up? How you doing? Good music. I mean, can you remember the days of Real Love with Mary J? Who else? Mace had a song with Diddy. Diddy had a song with Biggie. Pac had, he did something with Dr. Dre, California Love. I mean, these were great songs. Anytime these cats went in the studio and did music, you knew it was a hit. Off the rip, it was a hit. We need to get back to that. And I believe the only way we're going to get back to that is really just, really just doing your thing, just getting back to the basics. All right? I think we got somebody coming on the live, I believe. Let's see. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing today? What's going on?
Not much. I see you doing your thing. Then I seen one show you had. You said you was a songwriter. So I said, okay, maybe he could do something with my daughter. So I'm gonna send you a couple songs that she did. She really write her own music. She can rap and she can sing. But I think more or less she want to do the singing. You know what I mean? So she's just trying to get her feet wet. See how far she can go, but that's her passion. You know what I mean? So I was hoping you could do something with her, because I know you anyway.
Yeah, okay. So hold on. So for the people out there that don't know you, tell us your name and tell us what you think about the topic. How can we bring back more good music?
More good music? I think, well, first of all, my name is Nicole. As far as bringing back good music, it just seems like it's not coming from the heart anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's like kind of some people everybody doing the same thing. Even with rap, But I think people need to start, you know, like when we play Babyface, like you said, Mary J. Blige. You know what I'm saying? When we hear artists like that, we can feel it, we can relate. You know what I'm saying? So everybody now that's coming out, it's like they kind of doing the same thing, and it don't feel like it's what's the word I'm looking for?
Organic.
Organic, not from the heart. It's just, I don't know, maybe they just trying to get on. I don't know. But when you sing, you people gotta feel it. You know what I'm saying? Like when we hear Murray, when we hear Whitney Houston, who else we got back in the day? I'm gonna take you way back. We got Jodeci, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. When they sing, we can feel it, we can relate, you know what I'm saying? It's one of them, you know, do your little two-step, enjoy yourself. But I don't think everybody's doing that now. It's like everybody doing the same thing, even with the rapping. It's like a lot of mumble jumble. You know what I'm saying? So I think if people start, you know, singing and really mean it and be compassionate, like you said, organic, I think that it'll bring it back. You know, it's just, I can't listen to nothing but old schools. I don't listen, when I'm riding, I play either 80s or 90s R&B. I can't get with the new stuff. I'm not feeling it.
So Nicole, let me ask you, do you think if we were more strict as listeners, I'm talking about young, middle-aged people, older people, if we were more strict as listeners and we wasn't accepting, you know, some of that music that's just terrible, like you'd be like, damn, they really went in the studio to work hard to put out that? Are you serious?
Right,
Like,
exactly.
that's how it would be. Do you think it would change the landscape of music if we did that, if we were more strict on the ears?
I think so. I really believe so. You know what I'm saying? It's like how they be now, they be having all these R&B concerts, like bringing the real R&B back. You know what I'm saying? You know,
Right.
back then we knew the words, we can feel it. You know what I'm saying? You can replay it 3 or 4 times. You can listen to Mary J. Blige album like 2 or 3 times back to back, and I can drive to that album going back and forth to work. But some of these new artists, I can't relate. I just can't relate. It don't seem real. It just seems like they just living a lie. Just, I don't know, just to be singing. You know.
Or just
I
to
think
get the
if they
money,
did
probably.
that more and they touching the people more, it would be better. I just really think that. Even if they do collabs with some of the old, you know what I'm saying? If you do some collabs with some of the older people, older R&B versions, like say if let me see if I can give an example, like a Murray
Like
J and
maybe
who's
Tank or
hot
something.
now? What's her name? I like her though. Is it Jasmine Sullivan? I like her. Like if she do
And
it,
she
even
nice.
and
She
she can
nice.
sing, she can blow. She definitely can blow. But it's like somebody like her, she do a nice collab with like a Murray J, somebody like that. I think people will look at, you know, R&B a little different. Like like I always tell people, I wish Aaliyah was still here. Aaliyah that passed away. I
Okay.
loved her music. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? And it's like now when I hear R&B, you know, now, and then I go back and listen to her, I'll be like, dang, you know, these is like classics. You know, classics that you can just keep on playing over and over again.
It's true. It's true.
Her music, I want people to remember her. You know, young girl from the DMV. You know what I'm saying? Singing her heart. I want people to feel her. You know what I mean? She talk about like the songs she has written already. She's telling the story. And it's nothing that she's making up. It's stuff that really happened. You know what I'm saying? It's like you said, organic.
Right. So Pumpkin says Mary J and her. Her is really good too. She's really good.
Oh yeah, I love her. Yes, her. I love
Yeah,
her
she's
too.
good.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. And some of them, you know,
Gotta
some of
give it
the
to her.
older, you know, the older R&B, maybe they can teach them a thing or two. Not to say they can't sing. I'm not saying that, because they can sing. But if you want to, you know, you trying to get an audience and you know, you want to be different. You don't want to sing the same songs over and over again that we, you know, talking about the same thing that we already heard before. And then you want to make it, you know, believable. You know,
Yeah, I agree with that. I
I'm
I
telling
definitely.
you. Everybody be
I
living a
definitely agree
lie.
with
This
that.
social media, they just be living a lie, man. It's like you're just be true to yourself. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. It's tough to do. It is.
It
It's really
is.
tough to do.
It definitely is. Cause we live in a social media world. You know, when we was coming up, we didn't have all that. I tell my kids that all the time. I was like, we ain't have all this. We didn't even have
So
cell phones. We flip.
so let me ask you this. Let me ask this question because you mentioned earlier to me when I first buzzed you in that your
Uh-huh.
daughter is doing music, she's singing or what have you. In your estimation, I know she's your daughter. Would you say is she bringing us good music?
Yeah, I would say that. I would say that. Not
Okay.
just because she's my daughter. One,
Okay.
she sing like she got an old soul. I'm not even gonna lie to you. When I send you her stuff, you're gonna see what I'm talking about. You know,
Okay. Okay.
she's 18, but she likes the
Okay.
her and the Jasmine Sullivan, but she more like old school. She likes the Mary
But she could
J.
really sing.
Blige. She even like the
But she could
Aretha
really sing.
Franklin. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? She like all that.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
So that's where she at with it. She's like, Mom, when I do this, I want to be remembered. Like I want to create a legacy. You know what I mean? She don't just want to
I
be
like that.
that girl that just sings. No. You
Okay.
want to give the people something to remember. You know, stamp that.
That makes sense. That makes
Yeah.
sense. That makes sense. It make a lot of sense. Yo, if you are just joining us, we are live on the Pimp Game Podcast, and we are here picking the brain of Miss Nicole. She is talking about, just telling us what her thoughts are of us bringing back great music. Hey, Nicole,
Yes.
thank you for coming on the
Absolutely.
show, and keep
Anytime.
tuning in for
Anytime.
sure.
And I'm gonna send you her music. I'm gonna inbox you.
Okay, and bounce me her music, and we'll go for there. I work with her.
Sounds good. Thank you, baby. You take care.
All right, no
Continue doing
problem.
what you're doing.
No doubt.
All
Talk
right,
to you soon. All
baby.
right. Hey. We are back. Yes, I'm telling you, man, like great music, it's a forgotten thing. And we are, our girl says it. She says social media is the problem. That's the truth. Everybody is living a lie, like Nicole said. Can we just be honest with ourselves and say, hey, can somebody give us great music? Come on now. And I think it's up to us with the ears, the fans. We got to say, oh, hell nah, this ain't good. I want to shoot your uncle and shoot your mama and shoot your sister and shoot your brother. Really? That's what we putting on the tracks now? Are you kidding me? And it's selling? Come on. We know what sounds good. We know it sounds good. But yes, social media is the problem. It has weakened our ear. I guess maybe it's made us not really pay attention to what's real and what's fake out there. And that's the crazy thing. So, yo, if you are just joining us, we are live on the Pimp Game Podcast, and we are going to have a special guest. She goes by the name of Jezabel da Truth. That's right. She's the owner and CEO of Boss Biz Entertainment. She will be on the show at 8:30. All right? Man, let me say something about great music. When it's great music, it's a standard by the artist, too. It's a standard by the artist. The artist doesn't put out nothing that ain't great. Jay-Z don't put out nothing that's not great. Kanye don't put out nothing that's not great. Fat Joe, he don't put out nothing that's not great. Same thing with Mary J. They don't put out nothing that's not great. Diddy, same thing. Even though I guess he would be like a producer, quote unquote, but or probably more like a marketing person. He's dope at marketing. But Diddy don't do it. He don't sign off on it unless it's great. Same thing with R. Kelly. Granted, he's locked up in jail. He don't put nothing out unless it's great. It gotta be great. If you're an artist right now, you listen to the Pimp Game Podcast, don't put that music out if it ain't great. If it's whack, don't put it out. You know it's whack when you hear it. Don't put it out. It pisses me off. Why in the world are you making so many songs that sound the same? They all sound the same. You gotta put in the work. You gotta put in the work. You shouldn't want to sound like, there's no way You shouldn't want to sound like the next Eminem. You shouldn't want to sound like Jay-Z or sound like DMX or sound like Mary J. You want to create your own lane if you're an artist. Pumpkin says social media helps sell the person, and once the people like you, the actual talent takes a back seat. I agree with that. They take a break. That's what they do. They're not hungry anymore. Because before they didn't have the record deal. Now they got the record deal, and it's like, oh, I can relax. I really agree with that. I really agree with that, Pumpkins. I hope I'm saying that right, too. I think I am. Correct me if I'm wrong. All right? The standard comes from the artist. You have to care about what you're putting out there. You got to create your own lane. When I did the song, that song you hear in the intro, that's Red Bottoms. That's me featuring Mike D'Angelo. When we went and did that song, I told the producer, I said, hey, you remember that song that Neo had called She Knows? I want that type of feel, but we want to do our own thing. That's what I told him. And that's how we got Red Bottoms. I wrote the whole song. It's crazy. Like, if you're an artist, you got to hold yourself to a better standard. You can't just sit there and just be putting out whatever. You can't just put out whatever. Thank you, baby girl. Thank you. You cannot just put out whatever. You have to care about the craft. And now, it's true. A lot of the younger cats coming up now, they don't care about the craft. And I've even seen rappers. I've seen a couple of rappers that they gone now. Pop Smoke, he cared about the craft. XXXTentacion, he cared about the craft. These people cared about the craft. They're not going to put out bad music. It's just not going to happen. Same thing with Corday. He's a rapper. He cares about the craft. If it ain't great, he don't put it out. Same thing with Simba. I think his name is Simba. He's a rapper out of Cali. Same thing. He cares about the craft. You got to care about it. And some of these cats coming in, they don't really care. They care about the bad. And maybe they're not talented. I don't know. But it sounds like they all sounding the same. Yo, if you are just joining us and you love the information we are giving you, you can go ahead and send us a super chat. We're going to be coming with it every single Monday. That's right. We are coming with it. All you need to do is hit us in the Cash App. Hit us $ Pimp Game Podcast. All right? And send us a super chat. You know? Yeah. One-hit wonders. One-hit wonders. And I wish the record labels would get in and say, hey, we can't accept this. But the fact is, they're making money from it. That's what it is. It's being monetized. So if I'm a record label and this bull crap is selling, why would I be like, no, don't put it out there? It's selling. People are buying. There's a market for it. It's business. It's business. I seen a girl, I think what's the girl's name? The song was dope. The song was dope. I think it's, the girl goes, something like that. She doing the song. Something Baby Doll or something like that. It's a dope song. But the dude they got on the track, I think it's Fivio Foreign or something like that. It's one of Mace artists. His verse was whack. It was whack. They should have made him do it over. Now, I ain't saying he ain't talented. I need to hear some of his other stuff. But on that verse, he could have killed it. He could have came harder than that. It was whack. It was whack what he came with on his verse. And I know he got paid or whatever, but we can't allow these artists to come in here and give us music that's just subpar. It ain't on point. And like I said, that song is dope, but he came on there as a feature and laid a big egg. I thought his verse wasn't good. It wasn't good, but the song was dope. But you got some people who might like it. I thought he could have came harder than that, but maybe I'm wrong, and I'm okay with being wrong. But Fivio Foreign, if you hear me listening on the Pimp Game podcast and this makes it to your ears, hey, I'm not saying you're not talented, but I thought you could have came stronger on that verse. You could have came stronger. That wasn't your best. There's no way you're going to make me believe that was your best. It's not possible. It is not possible. You know? And great music, I see a lot of trap rappers and ratchet music out there. I ain't saying you can't do it, but at least let it be great. Let it be great work. Don't just put it out there so everybody can see you. That's not what we on. Make sure everybody loves it. And not just you showing money on the gram. Anybody can show money on the gram. A lot of times that ain't even their money. They holding fake money. They are holding fake money. If you are just joining us, we are live on the Pimp Game podcast. And we are talking about how can we make great music. Good music. I didn't even say great. I said good. How can we do more good music? At least good. Because a lot of the music now is terrible. It's terrible. And also at 8:30, coming up here shortly, we are going to have Miss Jezabel da Truth. She's the owner and CEO of Boss Biz Entertainment. She will be on the show at 8:30. Smile Me Fresh says, really though? Yeah, really. It's sad, man, with this music. And I wish we could go back to the early, to the 90s, to the early 2000s, when when music was good. Baby girl says, because it's like these trash clothing brands. You're really just paying for the name. That's true. It's definitely true. And I think even if you're going to pay for the name, right? Let it be value in it. Let it be value. And honestly, I just believe it's a new standard now. Like now, people don't listen to albums anymore. They'll listen to an album, but you got to produce singles. You got to produce singles. Keep producing singles, and then you could drop the album. Especially if don't nobody know who you are. If don't nobody know who you are, you got to give them. You definitely got to give them some singles. Cause they be like, well, why would I want to listen to the album? Because people's attention spans are short. That's why the Pimp Game podcast is only an hour. I can't give you 2 hours of a podcast. I could, but it's better. We get more if we give you an hour. Because the attention span is short. So that's my thing. You got to produce great music. Great. But to the artists, they have to care, man. And a lot of these artists don't care. They're going to give you whatever. Pumpkin says, don't get TikTok famous. You'll wake up to a record deal. That's true. I believe that. And you ain't got to be that talented. Baby girl says, sometimes these albums have maybe 3 good songs that we hear on the radio, but then the rest of the album is whack. That's true. That's true. And I think they need writers. They need other writers. Somebody got other ideas. Look, if you're an artist right now, listen to the Pimp Game podcast. Just because you have a writer doesn't mean you're not talented. But my brain is different from your brain. And that person's brain might be different from Mary J's brain. And Mary J's brain might be different from hers brain. Everybody's brain is different. So you can have one beat and 5 people will have 5 different lyrics to that beat, because all our beats are our creative, our mental creativeness. I know creativeness ain't a word, but when it comes to being creative, that's what it is. Everybody's going to produce something different. We got to have more great music. That's what we got to have, you know? Hey, if you are just tuning on to the Pimp Game podcast, we have a special guest coming on. And she goes by the name of Jezabel da Truth. I love that name. I really do. I keep saying it. I love it. And she will be on the show here in a couple of seconds here. It's crazy, you know? All right, let's bring her on. How you doing?
What's up? What's up? What's up? Can you hear me?
Yes, 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 indeed. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. How are you?
I am doing good, doing good. Oh, that's much better. Drop your phone a little bit lower.
Yeah, hold on 1 second. I'm trying to take this damn thing off. All right.
I can't see you. Bring it a little higher.
I had it.
Right there, right there, right there, right there. Come back up a little. Right there.
Is it?
I can only see your lips.
Hold on. Let me get my shit together.
Right there, right there. Okay.
All right.
Right there. That's good right there.
All right.
Right there. You right there. You good. I like that.
What's
How
going
you
on?
doing? How you doing? So we are here live on the Pimp Game podcast. So Truth, give us your name. I know I said your name a couple of times, but give us your name and just tell us what you do in terms of, you know, you helping with the but go ahead, tell them your name and what you do.
What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? My name is Jezabel da Truth. I am the owner of Boss Biz Radio. Jezabel da Truth, aka Tanya Cash. I go by Tanya Cash because I have multiple businesses. But when it comes to Boss Biz, I am definitely Jezabel da Truth. I am the host of Boss Biz Radio. Boss Biz Entertainment is a entertainment marketing company. Of course, we work with independent artists all over the East Coast, throughout the U.S., with marketing, promotions, advertising, touring. You want to throw your album release party, we got you. We'll set up everything for you. So we do a multitude of things.
Okay, okay. I like that. I like that. I like that.
Check out our website, www.bossbiz, that's BOSSBIZ. I don't know if y'all can see the shirt. It's BOSSBIZ, ENT.com. Also, we have a radio station on Live 365. So I'm not sure if there's any artists in here, any independent artists, but if you need radio play streams, you could check us out. It's Boss Biz Radio on Live 365. What else we got?
Okay, okay,
And that's
okay.
just a little bit, a little something about, you know, what I do, what we do.
So, Truth, let me ask you, let me go back to where everything originated from. When you were younger, you were thinking about maybe getting your company started. How did the idea come to fruition about Boss Biz? Like, how did you come up with the name? Let's start there. How did you come up with the name? Because it's catchy. How did you come up with the name Jezabel da Truth? I'm tired of saying it, but I love saying it. So how did you come up with that name?
Well, okay, so to get started, as far as me being in the music industry on the back end, when I was 17, 18, I used to freestyle. I used to freestyle with different groups of guys. The guys would be battling back and forth, and I used to just jump in there, but I never had like ambition to be a rapper or singer or anything like that. I just kind of knew I would drop music here and there one day. When I was, I think I want to say around 18, 19, and I was like just flowing through the rappers that I knew in my clique around the DMV area, I always wonder, well, how come, you know, DC never popped? Like back then it was New York, Lord John and them had just came out, Atlanta was popping. I'm real big on chopped and screw music. So, you know, the Texas, Houston scene was popping. But DC, we never really had we never, and to be technical, I'm really from DC. I wouldn't say the DMV. DMV is DC, Maryland, and Virginia, but growing up, it was a DC thing for me. So it was like, dang, like DC, we have all these talented rappers, but nobody's shedding light on it. This is like right before Wale came out. So that's where my passion originally started. So it was like, okay, well, what could I do to show that we got rappers here, or show that we got artists here that's just as great as the New York rappers, the Atlanta rappers, and the Houston rappers. So I kind of put it on a back burner. I went to college out West Virginia. Then I came back home and I was back in the rap scene, but this time I had moved out Maryland. So now I'm around Maryland rappers and I'm like, dang, like we got so much talent here. How could I, do something to shed light? So I was like, you know what? I like to talk. I was like, I'm gonna start my own radio show. And I was actually taking a class at the time to get my pharmacy technician certification. And it was this website called Spreaker. I don't know if anybody remembers Spreaker, but I was like, okay, I could put my friend's music on Spreaker. I was real hard on datpiff.com, mymixtapes.com, Spinrilla. Like I've been on those underground hip hop websites for a minute. So I was like, okay. So I started my radio station on Spreaker, but of course I had so much going on. I didn't really follow through with it. I moved to Tampa. And then I was a club promoter down Tampa, and I was around rappers again. Juvie, Bone Crusher, people like that. So I was like, dang, like I really gotta do something. Like it's meant for me to work in the music industry. I get back home and I'm working and I'm just like, you know what? I love going to showcases. I love the talent that we have here in our area. So I said, I got to do something. And I was working and my friend, she was just like, well, why don't you just go up to Baltimore and get your LLC? And I was like, she was like, at least that'll be a start, and just draw out a plan of what you want to do. So I went to Baltimore, and the name Boss Biz, I don't know how it came about. I always consider myself a boss, and I'm always about my business. So I think that's how those two came into play. And I got my LLC, started my company, I was on another radio station before I started my own. Before I was just doing promotions and advertising and marketing. And then I was on a radio station, Club Plug Radio. And I was like, my boss had died, rest in peace, trust. And, our online station kind of dissolved and I had to keep it going. The independent artists that we were working with, like they believed in what we were doing, like showcasing their talent. So I just had to continue, and I started Boss Biz Radio, which is an extension of Boss Biz ENT. So there we go.
So the Jezabel da Truth, that name though.
Oh, okay.
How did you come up with that name? I need that. That's what we want. That's what we want. We want the name. How did you come up with Jezabel da Truth?
My whole life and forgot the main part. So Jezabel da Truth really came about, and it's a funny story. A lot of people look at the name Jezebel like it's a degrading name. Like if you are a Christian or anything like that, everybody looks at Jezebel like she was a whore, like she was just everything ungodly, just the worst type of woman that you could come across, a promiscuous woman, a cheating woman, whatever you want to call it. And the name came about, like I didn't even know what I didn't really know what Jezebel meant, honestly, until I was about probably, I want to say like 22, 23. And I was dating this guy. And, it was an African guy. He was just like, he was like, you a Jezebel. And I was like, well, what the fuck is that, right? So I'm like, no, I'm not cussing him out. I'm like, like, I didn't understand it. And then another guy I was talking to, he was like, he said the same thing. And I was like, well, what the hell is that, right? So now I look it up. And I'm like, oh, they calling me a whore. They calling me a prostitute. They're calling me all of these bad names. Well, I started doing more research, and I was like, Jezebel wasn't a whore. She didn't sleep with anybody in the Bible outside of her husband. She was married. Then I was like, okay, so it can't be that. I'm not a cheater, so they're not calling me a whore in that aspect. But then I thought about it. I was like, okay, I have a thing about me. I always get what I want. Like I know how to. I have the gift of gab when it comes to certain type of guys. So I understand where they meant okay, flirtatious. But as I read more into Jezebel, that's exactly what she was. She had her husband. She was able to. She was a queen who was able to convince people to stop following one thing and follow what she believed. So she had power, like mind control power. So to me, that's very, any type of power to me is kind of, like it's intriguing. So she was powerful enough to have mind control over a group of people who really believed in one God. And she was able to tell them, no, hey, believe in my God, and which some of them followed that. Another thing about Jezebel, she never cheated on her husband. What she did was she used her beauty and her charm to get what she wanted out of other guys, and what she took home to her husband, which resulted in them killing him before they killed her. So I always looked at Jezebel as like a powerful woman, like she's a queen. She's not what everybody says she is, because most of the people that said that, I don't know if they really read her story or if they just used the term Jezebel lightly. Like when you say that, yes, she was a flirtatious woman. Yes, she wore red lipstick and she had this charm about her. But this charm was in order to get what she wanted, to make sure that her household was good, which was her husband. So me admiring that story, I was like, okay, well, people already called me that anyway. So I was like, I might as well go ahead and take up the name. But my perspective of Jezebel is different from everybody else's. And the truth is because I always speak truth. So
I
Jezebel
like
the
that.
truth.
I like that. Yo, if you are just joining us, we are live on the Pimp Game podcast. We are here with the infamous Jezabel da Truth, and we are here talking to her, picking her brain about what went down in her process of starting Boss Biz Entertainment, right?
Right.
So, talk to us about now Boss Biz Radio. What was your vision for Boss Biz Radio when you first started? Like, was you like, you know what? I'm gonna have the biggest artists on the show. I'm gonna interview this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do the tours. What was the first thing that you really wanted to do when you started Boss Biz Radio?
It was a total opposite. I always pride myself in not really following the crowd. Just being different. I'm not like I would I wouldn't say a trend follower, like, in which it can hurt you at the end. So when I initially started Boss Biz Radio, I was like, okay, what is the point of interviewing people that's already big? Like, it's really no point in interviewing people that's already big, because they already have their shine. They already have their team of marketing and promoters that's going to push them. I always want to shed light on the people that ain't getting no light, the people that nobody's checking for, the people that people aren't really, because they don't have a certain amount of following, people aren't looking over them, because that happens a lot. There's a lot of talented people, but because some stations feel like, okay, you're not there yet, we're not even going to give you a chance. So I always try to give opportunities to people that get overlooked. Hence why we do showcases. We do our own artist showcases in which we showcase talent. And yes, we can go out. We have the funds to go out and book a big artist and bring them. But what's the point? That's not helping the small. They're not reaching back to help the smaller people. So the platform is mostly for people that should get some shine, but hasn't gotten any yet. And one thing that I say is tune in to hear your best, your best unknown artists. Because if you listen to our radio station, we have R&B, hip hop, all kinds of music. And I can do a crank session right now. And when I say crank session, meaning a turn up session, where you'll be like, wow, you would think that these are artists that should be big. Same thing with the R&B music on our station. You listen to those artists and you're like, damn, these people are talented. Like, why aren't they charting? Why aren't they on regular radio? So the whole goal is to shed light on those who don't have the light shown on them.
So let me ask you this question, because what do you say to those people out there that say, hey, and we know you got some indie artists on the show, you got some dope rap artists, you got some dope R&B artists, but what's wrong with bringing a Jaheim on as a main attraction? That way it draws more people in. Or what's wrong with bringing a Raheem Devon in and still having those indie artists open up for them? What do you say to those people that say, why don't you go that route?
Well, what I would say about that is you already see that. It's nothing wrong with but then people think that just because I have a Raheem Devon or Wale on my show that people are going to continue to watch just because of that one time. For me, it would have to be me introducing an artist to a Raheem Devon in order for me to even want to be motivated to have a big artist. Like, if I have a big artist on my show, what are you really doing for the people behind you? Is what I want to know. I don't care about what you're doing for yourself. You've already made it. Like, I'm not going to interview about what you're doing for yourself. Tell us how you got there and actually tell this specific artist how you got there. That's what I'm more interested in. There's nothing wrong with that market employ of having someone bigger there, what you think is going to gain a certain audience, but it's maintaining that audience. They're going to want to see other they're still not going to go and listen to the smaller artist music. But if you and the up and coming artists are both pushing each other, and you're also like, I'm not the type of platform to where I only keep stuff for myself. I have friends in the industry all over the United States, California, Georgia, Texas, North Carolina. So if you're a hot artist to me, it's nothing for me if you're traveling to say, hey, so-and-so, I have this artist coming down to North Carolina. Could you put them on your, check out this song. Let me know what you think. I have a homegirl in Tampa. She has her own online station. She's actually on Tampa radio that I can reach out to if I feel like your music is, and spread the love that way. So unless you're doing something to help the smaller people, I'm not really interested in your story. You see, everybody has a podcast now, right? Lil Wayne, Young Miami, all of these people are interviewing celebrities. Not one of them do you see interview somebody that's up and coming from their area, or somebody that they've seen on TikTok or that they've seen on Instagram or YouTube saying, hey, come up here, let me pick your brain a little bit, let me give you some game. How often do you see that? Even $1 million worth of game, Wallow and Gilly. How often do you see them reach back to these artists and nobody's really looking for it to say, hey, y'all, look at this artist. It's all about their fame and what they got, and not more so how they got there. Nobody's really giving no jewels. So.
Okay. I like that. So talk to us about, because you mentioned the relationships that you have. You got a friend out there or a homegirl out there in Florida, in the Tampa area, that also has her own radio station with Tampa Radio. How important is it for people who want to maybe start their own Boss Biz Radio in their own rights to really develop and build relationships? That way they could really make their mark in the industry as they kind of climb the ladder up to the upper echelon people.
Well, what I would say is people will see you. When I initially started Boss Biz Radio, I think the biggest thing for me was showing love to other, like, especially to the DJs, the producers, A&R people that work for labels, just all of those people. Whenever they post something, comment, maybe show them some love, refer them to other people. And so that's how you build relationships on social media, as far as that's how I did it. Now, a lot of other people that I know personally from me moving around. I've never been one to just sit in a city and think that I'm going to make things happen and make connections only through social media. I go to showcases. I've been to, rest in peace, Mika. Oh my God. That was my homegirl. She did a show in Nashville with Project Pat. I went out there, met Project Pat, met a lot of artists out there, met her team. Shout out to DJ Reezy. Met their whole team. They had shows in Atlanta, showed up, was networking with them, letting them know, tell people what I do, and I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna promote for y'all, and that's how we do it. They had a Pastor Troy show. They had a showcase with Pastor Troy where he actually watched the artists and judged the artists. Got an invite to that. you know. And that's how I met that network. And she actually, Coco Mika, she actually works with Bigger Rankin. She used to work with Bigger Rankin. So it's really about moving. I feel like it's really about moving around. You can't just sit still and expect things to happen for you. If I want to network in a DMV, I can do that. But my goal is to get us out of the DMV, not like our sound, not even just the DMV sound, but our artists. Okay, we need to be on the radio in California. Well, how are you going to do that? You could send it by email to the California radio stations, and what's the chances of them really listening to it unless you really know somebody at the station? So what do? You actually go to these cities. You go to these DJ events or producer events, and you introduce yourself and let them know what you got going on. I think that's the best way to do it, and that's how I make my connections.
I like that. I like that. I like that. The way you are making your connections. Hey, if you are just joining us, we are live on Pimp Game with the infamous Jezabel da Truth. She is here talking about Boss Biz Radio. We are here picking her brain about the industry. So, Truth, tell us, what is it? What now that you have Boss Biz established somewhat? What have you? You're doing your thing in the industry right now. What projects do you have coming right now that we could look forward to as fans of Boss Biz Entertainment, Boss Biz Radio, what have you? What do you have going on that we could look forward to in the near future?
Well, what I always have is opportunities. That's one thing I'm always going to have, and that's an opportunity for artists, you know. And I specifically say artists because, of course, I could work with comedians and business owners, but my focus is mainly music. So the opportunities that I have for artists is if you are an artist and you're trying to get your music off the ground, you want more people to hear your music. You want to actually get up and tour, but you don't know how to set up these tours. You don't know how to get and connect with these venues. That's the service that we offer. So you can always go on our website and submit a info sheet, and basically we'll get back to you with the details. You let us know what cities you want to go to. We'll help you set that up. Also, we do music reviews. And the music reviews for right now is free. And the reason it's free right now is because we want to know what other people want to hear. So you send us your music, we'll review it. We'll put it up just to see what feedback we get on it. And you can actually, when I do the music reviews, you can see the feedback from live people listening to your music. Also, and if you get good feedback, what I do is, you know, put a fire emoji if it's lit, put a can emoji if you're not feeling it. You get fire emojis, we'll put you on our station.
Okay.
And anybody that's a registered artist, and when I say registered, I mean your music is registered. You're registered with the PRO, either ASCAP, BMI, what's the other one? Is ASCAP, BMI, and it's another one, CSAC. Your music is registered with any of those, meaning not just you as an artist registered. Each song, you'll get royalties for your music played on our radio station. It's no joke. It's no game. And those royalties are for your streams. Who else is streaming your music? We have a Boss Biz playlist on Spotify, you know, that we run daily. So these are where, you know, as an artist, most artists don't even know how to get paid off of their music. That's a whole nother topic. You know, you got to tune in on our podcast on Mondays, Rolling with Success from 5 to 7. We talk about these things.
Okay. I like that. I like that. So do you guys have any maybe shows that are going out to another city, maybe Atlanta, maybe Miami or something like that? Could we look forward to that in the future? Maybe travel for Boss Biz Radio or Boss Biz Entertainment?
Well, as far as us throwing shows in Atlanta, I feel like right now where we're at is artist based. We could go to Atlanta and throw a showcase and have Atlanta artists perform at the showcases there. But right now we're more geared into working one-on-one with an artist. So let's say, for instance, your name is K Book from Indiana, and you got this project that you're about to release, but you're really trying to get it out there. You want to go on tour. What we do is we'll find venues that's worth you performing at. Nobody wants to perform in a hole in the wall with 5 people, right? So what we'll do is we can set up that tour for you. Like I said, go through your analytics. Where are people listening to your music? A lot of artists don't do that. So you can look forward to seeing us moving around. But as far as setting up a tour right now, we're going through the admission process with an artist right now. So you can look forward to seeing us touring with the artist coming soon. But I encourage any independent artist that's out there that have the financial stability to move their music to tap in.
I like that. I like that. I like that. So let me ask you, because we talked about it earlier in the show when we first started the show. What do we need to do as viewers, as listeners, as fans, as music, fans of Boss Biz Radio, Boss Biz Entertainment? What can we do to bring in more good music, great music, if you will? Because right now, I believe the music industry is saturated with a lot of filth. Don't get me wrong. You got the Futures and the Drakes and the Young Miami. You got some artists out there who they lit, they nice. Every time they put out something, it's great. But far too often, you got a whole bunch of artists out there with the music is just, it's trash. It's terrible. How do we get rid of that? Like as the people listening to the music, what is your suggestion to that?
Well, it's impossible to get rid of the filth. And one thing I will say is music is subjective. So what one may think is trash, another may think is hot. But I watched an interview, I want to say earlier, and it was an old interview with ODB and Method Man, ODB for Old Dirty Bastard. And one thing he was saying in this interview was music is controlled by the masses. And we don't know who the masses is. We want to say it's the people, but really some people feel like it's a hidden agenda. So sometimes you can hear a song that you think is trash, like Tatiana, but it's playing everywhere. And it plays so much that the people start to like it. So
it's true. That's true.
That's when people are like, oh, the song is good, but it was just trash 2 months ago when you first heard it. But repetition is everything. So you can put out music that you feel is great. It's awesome. But if the powers that may be don't want that music to blow up, like, I feel like it's controlled. Music is controlled is what I will say. Even with Glorilla, a lot of people feel like the song doesn't even make, like they're like, oh, well, one, I can say you can have a fire beat. Marketing is what makes music good, not the sound. Really, you could say ABC on a song, but if you market it, get it on the radio, put the money, invest your finances, put the money behind it, definitely, that song can become a good song. And what do you consider a good song? Is it the streams, or is it what the people consider a good song? Because one thing we debate about on my show on Mondays is success goes by numbers. I go by my ear, like what I think is popular, what I like. He's like, a good song means that the numbers are good. So if you think you got a good song, but the numbers aren't good, then really, do you have a good song?
See, let me say this. I'm glad you mentioned that. Because I would challenge him to say, I don't like that, because in the industry, they can manipulate the numbers. So because they can manipulate the numbers, I'm not going to go with the numbers. I got to go with my ear and see if the beat is dope, and number two, are the words dope. They both got to be dope, unless I ain't fooling with it. That's just me, though.
And
I
you
love
come back and
greatness.
say manipulating the numbers is marketing.
Yeah, but even though that might be marketing, you can't tell me that's a great song if it's being manipulated. Nah.
But it's marketed great, which made the streams, which makes the numbers go up, which to the masses, when you get an award on an award show, most of the time it's based on the listeners, the streams now, So what makes a good song is the numbers, ultimately, which I disagree with. But when you really think about it, if you market your song the right way, which you say the numbers can be manipulated, a lot of big artists buy streams. They buy units for their music to make the numbers go up. You can do the same thing.
Because truth, let me tell you this. And I said this earlier. There's a song the girl goes, or whatever. I forgot. I think it's China Doll or something doll, baby doll or something. The song is dope. Mm-hmm. But Fivio Foreign, I think that's Mate's artist, got on the track as a feature, but he can't. It was weak. What he put on there was weak, but the song is dope. And I'm not saying he's a bad artist, but his verse was trash. It wasn't good at all.
He's popping.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying he's not a bad artist. I'm not saying he's a bad artist, but
no, but just wait. Just because he's popping doesn't mean he's a great artist. You know, to some people, so just because he's popping doesn't mean that he's a good artist. It just means that he's marketed well.
That's true. That is true. All right. So, hey, before we sign off on Pimp Game, tell us again how we can reach you. If they want to get in contact, if they want to be booked by Boss Biz Entertainment, if they want to work with you, how can your fans get in touch with you?
Well, you can always follow us at Boss Biz Radio on Instagram. Also, it's Boss Biz Radio on Live 365 if you want to listen to the music on our station. If you want to submit music to go up on our station or to go up on our Spotify playlist, you can always email us at info, that's I-N as in Nancy, F as in Frank O, at bossbiz, BOSSBIZENT.com. Also, it's bossbizent@gmail.com as well. So you can kind of CC one another if you really wanted to get to us. Also, what else do we have? Yeah, so that's the website, Instagram, Facebook is Boss Biz Radio, Twitter is Boss Biz Radio. LinkedIn is Boss Biz Radio. Look, we're always hiring. I'm looking for videographers. We need videographers, street team, also social media promoters or social media content creators. So we're always looking for people to add to our team. So if you think you have something to add, contact us, send us your resume, and we'll go through it. Also, looking for male hosts for the Indie Grustle, which is a segment of Boss Biz Radio that specifically highlights the artist's talent. You can check out dope-ass interviews with the past artists that we interviewed on YouTube at Boss Biz Radio.
I like that. And one more thing, any final thoughts for your fans? Anything you would like to say or add and tell people out there who is a fan of Boss Biz Entertainment?
One thing I will say is just keep on pushing, artists. Sometimes it's hard, especially when you've been grinding, and you wake up and the next artist blew up overnight and you're scratching your head as to what did I do wrong? It's nothing that you did wrong. The only thing you need to do is just try to get your money up, get your marketing up, get your advertising up, and move around. Nothing's going to come to you. You need to go out and get it. And stay tuned for what Boss Biz got to offer. Yo, I love all of you, all of my fans, followers, friends, supporters, all of that. So, and Kenny, thank you so much for having me on the show this evening. We're looking out for your music as well. So, yeah, we gonna keep our foot on your neck.
Definitely. Yo, that is our show for this evening. For the viewers out there, we would like to thank you for tuning in, as well as our YouTube viewers out there. We would like to say, hey, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you go to I Am Kenny D and subscribe, and make sure you turn that notification button on just in case, well, not just in case, when we put up new videos. And also, we like to thank Jezabel da Truth for coming on the show and blessing us with her presence. And that's right, next week we got a special guest. She goes by the name of Charlene Page. She is the owner and CEO of Unique Creations. She will be on the show next week, Monday, on Pimp Game, the podcast. See you next week. You don't want to miss it. Holla.
Bye, y'all.
Audio Jungle.